For this week's tech tip, I'm going to show you how to use ClassDojo to keep track of student participation during Socratic seminars. And here I'm logged into ClassDojo, and you can see this is my dashboard. This is a demo class I have. And when I click on a student, I have these attributes, both positive and negative, that I can award to a student. Now, again, I use ClassDojo for keeping track of student participation during Socratic seminar. Prior to using ClassDojo, whenever I had a Socratic seminar, I would print out a class roster, and during the Socratic seminar, I'm keeping tally of how often students are speaking. All that chicken scratch sometimes would be difficult for me to make meaning out of, and so I was looking for a tool that could help me streamline keeping track of student participation. Now, when I am keeping track of student participation during a Socratic seminar, I'm looking for three things typically: whether or not students are answering questions, asking questions, and demonstrating leadership. And by leadership, I mean that students are actively engaging more students in the conversation, that they are helping maintain a flow with the Socratic seminar. So if students are starting to go off topic, I will award a leadership point to students who draw the class back in by refocusing with their comments or questions. Okay, so I've Alberto say he's demonstrated leadership. I can click on the leadership as well. So let's get closer into this. Let me show you the display settings for ClassDojo. I'm logged in here with my to create this video with my laptop using ClassDojo, but typically during the Socratic seminar, I'm using the ClassDojo app for my iPad, and I'm just tapping on students as they're asking and answering questions. So let me run quickly through the display settings. The display setting lets you make your avatars larger or smaller. And again, I know that the avatars are kind of silly. ClassDojo is more aimed towards the elementary level because it's more of a behavior management tool, but I think it's great for keeping track of student participation. You have these other settings that can show award notifications, and these are usually checked for default, but I encourage you to uncheck them. And the student default is to sort students by their first name, but I like to sort by last name. So save settings. Okay, so one other cool feature of ClassDojo here is that they have this timer. And typically when I have a Socratic seminar, I use an inner and outer circle, and I hold Socratic seminars typically on block days, so I want to switch halfway through. So say I want to set the time for the first round to 35 minutes, and after the 35 minutes, I'm going to switch the inner and outer circle. This allows me to keep track of that right through ClassDojo. At the end of a session for the Socratic seminar, I can end the class. And then right here, I'm going to have some data that I can look at that I have found is really helpful for me communicating to students how they're performing in a Socratic seminar. So I'll just go to today. And let me click on Alberto here. And what you can see is it shows that I've awarded 10 participation points to Alberto, and 4 before were for leadership. Alberto answered 2 questions, and he also asked 4. So this information has been really helpful for me when I'm communicating to students about how that they can improve their performance during a Socratic seminar. What I like about ClassDojo that it's really simple to use and it's easy to set up. I'm going to show you how to set up a class really quickly. I can just add a new class by selecting the year, 10th grade, subject. Hey, name your class. So this could just be second period. So you could have it by class, or say you just want to name it for the type of activity you're going to do. So maybe you have one for second period Socratic seminars or class participation, or sorry, not class participation, maybe presentations. Let me hit next. Okay, so now it's so simple to add students. You can just copy and paste your list. So there we go, Control V, save. And now my students are in, and I have a class. These are the these are the default behaviors for ClassDojo, but and there are negative ones as well. But you can customize these. You can make them your own, and you can also import behaviors from another class. So the first one that I showed you, I can easily just import these behaviors, and I'm set to go. This right here, again, I told you ClassDojo is more geared for the elementary level, and so it has this option where you can have parents sign up, but I don't use that. In fact, I don't even have students create accounts for ClassDojo. I specifically use it as a tool just for me to keep track of student participation. So that's ClassDojo in a nutshell. If you're interested in learning more about ClassDojo, how you can use it as a tool to keep track of student participation in Socratic seminars or presentations or just in general, feel free to contact me, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about it. All right, that's this week's tech tip. I'll see you next week.